What's up, guys? This is a video going over the model that I trade. Now, I trade iFVGs and I've made so many videos going over iFVGs, but I have progressed so much since like a lot of my older videos, and I kind of want to redo a video explaining the way I trade them now in comparison to before. I trade a lot differently, but it's still iFVGs, same model, same concepts, just I trade it a little bit differently. So let's go ahead and get into like the idea of the model. What do you need for a setup? Now, the first thing you're going to need for a setup is a liquidity sweep, right? So let's say we take out some liquidity here. The first thing you're going to need is a liquidity sweep. So let's go ahead and put this here. Setup criteria. The first thing you're going to need is number one, a liquidity sweep. All right. And number two is going to be, actually, I'll put it up both on number one, and slash or delivery, right? And both of these you're going to want to be on the higher time frame. So I'll go ahead and put parentheses higher time frame or delivery. Both of these are higher time frame. So you're going to want a higher time frame sweep, higher time frame delivery, right? Off of fair value gap, right? You could do fair value gap, right? And that's what you're going to want. Maybe this is an hourly fair value gap. Maybe this is a 15-minute. Maybe it's a 4-hour, right? So this, you're going to want this to be a higher time frame. And I'll kind of put in here, what do I mean by higher time frame? 15-minute slash 1 hour slash 4-hour, and maybe even a daily gap sometimes, right? Sometimes if we're delivering out of a daily gap, that's good. But for the most part, I want to leave it here. Sometimes you'll have delivery out of a 5-minute gap, right? Maybe you have a delivery out of a 5-minute, but I don't always consider that my higher time frame. These are my higher time frames. Now, number two, you're going to want to enter on the highest time frame iFVG. Now, this is one of the key differences compared to how I traded before. You're going to want the highest time frame. So let's say on one time frame, we have let's say we have a 1-minute gap here, we have a 2-minute gap, and a 3-minute. You're going to want to enter on the 3-minute, the highest time frame. Now, what actually are my entry? What are the time frames I'm using for my entries? The time frames I'm using for my entries: 30-second, right? We got the 1-minute, the 2-minute, all the way up to the 5-minute. So 30-second through the 5-minute. Now, 30-second is mainly if we don't have a 1-minute. I usually stay on the 1-minute time frame when I'm trading. This 30-second time frame is going to be like just if we don't have a 1-minute, but 30-second through the 5-minute. All right. Now, if there's a 5-minute and a 15-minute, 15 minutes higher time frame, I just don't enter that. Now, this is all the mechanical stuff you need, like just the bare minimum for the setup. Now, I've already done some videos on subjective. I'm just doing this video specifically on the entry model, right? So iFVG, right? So this is it here. Now, there's certain things that you want to look for. You're going to want to have a draw on liquidity. I have a video on that, like I was talking about. I made videos on subjective things. There's a video I already have going over draw on liquidity. And I will go ahead and put it like in the corner, wherever, right here. I'll make it pop up. But now with this, next you need a draw on liquidity, right? Draw on liquidity. Right? You're gonna need a draw on liquidity. You want to go on the higher time frame, figure out, like, let's say we have like a draw on liquidity up here, and we got a higher time frame sweep, right? Let's say we're on the way down. Let's say we're going like this, right? We're going down, boom. We just touched a higher time frame liquidity here. right? Maybe it's a previous day low with delivery out of a 15-minute, right? Let's say there's a 15-minute. And then let's say this is previous day low, right? Where is it? I have it somewhere. Previous day low, right? Let's say this is this. Now that we've swept this low, we're delivering out of the 15-minute. We swept previous day low. Let's say we have a 2-minute and a 4-minute FVG here, and the 2 minutes size time frame. We have some LRL here. This is my draw, right? So I have a draw on liquidity, this LRL, good draw on liquidity, right? We already know that. And boom, we have our draw delivering out of 15-minute previous day low, iFVG, and boom, that's an entry right there. So, and one of the main differences compared to how I traded before, you always enter on the highest time frame inversion. That is one of the biggest things, right? You need your draw on liquidity, all this stuff. Now, what are some, this is all the stuff you need for a setup, right? You need all this, right? What are some things that you can, what are some extra confluences? So I'll put extra confluences. We got SMTs. We got open low high close / open high low close. We got market maker models. What else do we got? We got that might be it. Goes with bias could be one, but you most of the time you want your trade to go with your bias because that'll be based on your draw and liquidity. My bias is always based on my draw. If my draw is higher, then I'm bullish. If my draw is lower, then I'm bearish. Oh, another thing I want to put on here is you want, this is for your setup criteria. I forgot to put this. For your setup criteria, you want the lower time frame to match the higher time frame bias, right? So if we're on the lower time frame and you can see, like, let's say we have a gap here, it rejects. We have a gap here, it rejects. Now on the higher time frame, we swept this low and delivering off of this 15-minute. Boom, now we inverse this. That's showing that we're now flipping, right? We also lower time frame, we have this LRL here. Let's say we have previous day high above still. Maybe we have London highs. You leave a runner maybe if you want up here. You just use the London high as a bias, Asia high, right? You just want the time frames to match. So if price is obviously bearish here, we still have draw lower. You're not gonna want to just enter there, right? So this is for discretionary setups here, and yeah, this is basically the entry criteria. Extra confluences. Actually, I'll put one in here. Premium / discount. You normally want your reversals to be, you want the long to be in discount and you want the shorts to be in premium. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this and we're going to go ahead and look into an example here. All right. So we are going into this day with this in mind, right? We have a data low below. So my higher time frame and lower time frame, honestly, I'm just looking for this data low here. It's a really good draw on liquidity, right? I don't even, for the most part, you don't even need to check the higher time frame for this. I mean, I can check, right? I can go ahead and see, are we at all-time highs? Yes, we're at all-time highs. So all-time highs, you're normally just bullish. It's actually all-time highs right here. At all-time highs, you're always bullish. So I am bullish bias here. So what I will do is I'll be patient, right? So I know we're probably going to run this data low, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be like, all right, we're going to be patient. Let's wait for this data low to sweep. And then we'll look for a long off of this data low. This data low is inside of a 15-minute. So we would be getting delivery off this 15-minute if we swept it and just reversed, right? So pretty much what I'm waiting for here is just that, right? So we're going to go ahead and go forward a little bit. You can see we almost touched all-time highs there. And then boom. Right here, we take out our data low, delivering off this 15-minute. We actually swept some of these lows below as well. Did we tap into a lower 15-minute maybe? Okay, we did. We tapped into this 15-minute. Did we tap it? Is there an hourly there? No. Okay, so we're delivering off the 15-minute, right? So we have our higher time frame delivery. We have our higher time frame liquidity sweep as well, which is that data low. And then some of the lows to the left as well. So right now, so far, we're inside of our criteria. Now, do we have any fair value gaps here that we could look for an inverse off of? Actually, it didn't show the delivery yet. Let me go forward a little bit. Okay, there we go. We tapped into that last 15-minute. Delivery off the 15-minute. We have a data low swept. And we're at all-time highs. So everybody knows all-time highs, you're bullish, right? You're looking for longs. So we got our pullback here. And based on this leg so far, we are in discount. So we're looking for some of these extra confluences, right? We have obviously our liquidity sweep, higher liquidity sweep, and delivery. Now we need an iFVG. We have a draw on liquidity / bias kind of thing. We are at all-time highs, so bullish. And now let's go ahead and check. Let's see. So no 1-minute gap, no 2-minute gap to look for an inverse, no 3-minute gap to look for an inverse, no 4-minute, and possibly a 5-minute here, right? We have an unfilled 5-minute gap here, right? You guys can see this is a fair value gap. Now, if you don't know, an unfilled fair value gap is a good target, right? You can use it for targets. So you can see here, we have an unfilled 5-minute there. And we don't have any gaps, right? We checked all the other gaps, but we do have a 30-second here, right? And something I like about this 30-second is we actually formed a manipulation leg with it. So let me pull this out, right? This 30-second, you can see this would be our iFVG. If we close above it, we could look for this. I always put my stop loss at the swing low. Stop loss at the swing low. 1R, just a clean little 1R at this 5-minute. You can leave runners if you want, since we're at all-time highs. Go with your bias, but it just depends if we get a good close here. So we have this 30-second. It's the only time frame we have. Like I said before, I stick to the 1-minute through the 5-minute. If we don't have a 1-minute, boom, we have this 30-second right here. So now we'll go ahead and look, see if we get our entry. Okay, no close there. And no close. Boom, now we get a close. Now, something I want to teach is my stop loss is always at the swing low. Now, in this situation, I will not put my stop loss at the swing low. I will put my stop loss at this order block. Because if price is going to continue up here, then we should hold this order block. There's no reason we should go below it. All right. So now this gives me a little bit of a better risk to reward. We get a 1.6. Go ahead and enter, let's say with 1 con, right? I just entered limit, didn't I? Whatever. We're in. So TP would be at the 5-minute. You can see I don't need more than this 1.6R. Maybe before, if we hadn't formed this order block and my stop loss was all the way down here, we go ahead and, if my stop loss was all the way down here, maybe partials at 1R, we're at all-time highs, we could look for a little bit more. Maybe we look for the 930 high. But with this risk to reward, 1.6, no partials, so just a clean 1.6R is all I would need for the day. I'm not really asking for anything else. So targeting this unfilled 5-minute, let's look at our setup criteria. We have a higher time frame delivery and sweep. Highest time frame iFVG is this 30-second. We already checked. There was no 1-minute. Like you can see, no 1-minute there, no 2-minute there, right? No nothing, right? Nothing anywhere. So we go back to the 3-minute, 30-second. Highest time frame. All right. Now draw on liquidity. We have an unfilled 5-minute. That is a good liquidity pool. Our draw on liquidity is higher. I'm bullish. We're at all-time highs. We took out our data low, right? Because on the lower time frame, we have this data low. I want us to take out the data low. Boom, we take out the data low. We also put in a manipulation leg here. If you have checked out my video on manipulation legs, took out this low, formed a new high, a new low, boom, manipulation leg, right? Unfilled 5-minute for my target. And you see we waited for all of these. Lower time frame to match the higher time frame. Now let's look here. Not 10 a.m., so I'm not going to look for an open, low, high, close. Not really a clean market maker model here for longs. And then premium and discount. We are in discount. The only time honestly, if there's an exception for premium and discount is if we're taking a continuation setup, but this is not a continuation setup, right? This is a reversal. So I am in discount, right? If I were to even, I mean, I don't have to draw this out. I can just look at it and tell, but if I draw this out, you can see we are clearly in discount. We're below this 0.5 right here of the range. We are obviously in discount. So you, like I said, you'd enter here, TP at the unfilled 5-minute, and then you can see stop loss at the OB. Like I said, if we are going to run this, then we should just not go below this OB. Now you can see we formed a new OB here. Realistically, this OB should hold as well. And we ran like this high and stuff. You don't really have to move break even, but when I took this, I did move stop to break even here. I put it a little bit above just to cover for fees. So I put it like right there. And then boom, we ran TP there. Easy win. And I'm pretty sure there was also an SMT at these lows. Let me check. I'm going to go on the higher time frame. So you can see on the 15-minute, we ran the 7 o'clock low. I actually don't have ES on here. ES 2025. Why is it not on here? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure when I checked when I took this trade, I'm pretty sure there was an SMT here. Maybe I can put on here. Yeah, so you can see the 7 o'clock low that we ran, this 15-minute, like obvious low, Friday 12th, 7 a.m. You can see if I go back on NQ, you can see we did run it, the 7 a.m. low here. So we had an SMT at the lows. So that was another one of our extra confluences there that we had. So beautiful setup here. Now I will check to see if we ran to all-time highs here. So you can see you would have been stopped out at break even there, right? And you can see if you would have just done no break even, you could have just done that. But I'm personally not a high risk to reward trader. I like taking my piece of the pie and being done. You could have done that, but I personally don't trade like that, so I'm not going to teach that. I'm going to teach how I trade, and you can see this, you're in 941 and you hit TP in 5 minutes. So I personally prefer to trade like this. It's just my way of trading. And sometimes you don't know if it's going to run all the way up there. So I personally don't like doing that because price is going to give pullbacks a lot. And I just personally don't feel like sitting through that. I like taking my little trade and being done for the day there. So let's go ahead and move on to the next example. Onto this example, you can see coming into this day, we are at market open here. You can see coming into this day, we actually have some LRL forming here, right? Let me go ahead and mark this out. If you don't know what LRL is, it's low resistance liquidity. It's basically trendline liquidity. You can see we are forming kind of like a trend line here. You see we have a high, low, high, low, high, low. You can see we're kind of forming a trend line here. This is trendline liquidity. We also took out this big low. I'm pretty sure this was a data low from like a Trump tweet or something because it's at 8:19. It's kind of a random time, but you can see it's a big wick. We took out that low. Coming here into market open, you can see we have a big move down. Let's see. Okay, right here we have an inverse. Is it the highest time frame? Let's see. We have a 4-minute, a 5-minute. Right. So we have, oh, I didn't mean to go to the 15-second. So you can see we have all this here. We swept London low. So we do have the first thing, liquidity sweep of a higher time frame. London low. Boom. All right. Higher time frame sweep. Are we delivering off a higher time frame gap? Yes, we're delivering off an hourly here. Boom. We're delivering off an hourly. Any other ones? We're delivering off of a 4-hour, a lower 4-hour here. And we are also delivering off that 15-minute, but I'm going to leave this 4-hour marked out. So we're delivering off the 4-hour. We're delivering off the hourly. We're delivering off 15-minute. We have All right, a draw on liquidity. Boom. Number 3, we already have that. LRL. Lower time frame to match higher time frame. Okay, let's see if we get this inverse here, then we would be matching the higher time frame. We have a 2-minute inverse, 3-minute. What's the highest time frame here? 4-minute. 4 minutes the highest time frame here. What time is this? This is the 4-minute close. So boom, right here. Can enter right here. You can see we did not have a 5-minute gap there. We have a 4-minute. Our draw is going to be this LRL. And boom, this is the iFVG right here. All right. Now, stop loss all the way down here is pretty cooked. So, and like I said before, I always like to put my stop loss at swing lows. I'm going to look for a different spot to put my stop loss at. So we did form a lower time frame OB right here. You can see right there, we have a lower time frame OB there. Which still kind of sucks. We are at a 0.7 R here for this setup. I'm thinking I just put it at the body of this lowest candle here. Literally, I'm just trying to find somewhere to look for a 1R here. This is a really far close. The only thing I could look for is maybe we leave it there and look for a limit entry here. But just based on this momentum, I don't think we're going to get a limit entry. So I'm thinking I'm going to put my stop loss here at the body of this candle. I don't like putting it too close, though. That's just a problem with this setup. I'm thinking we put at the body such a far close, and we look for a 1R like this. That's honestly what I'm thinking here. And I really want to just maybe hope we could get a pullback here to get a limit order, but I feel like this momentum is just so good. So I'll go ahead and get in. And now, depending on whether you want to put your stop all the way at the swing low or not, I'm thinking because we do have this 1-minute OB here, you could put it the OB. And I'm thinking maybe the body of the OB, which would be right there, which would almost give you a 1R. But that would still not be a 1R. So honestly, for this one, just going to throw it at the body. And then we'll look for a 1R right here. Stop loss at the OB, or the body. What? Stop loss executed. Why? Let me redo that. Boom. Entry there. Sell. No, I don't want to enter a sell. Oh my gosh. How am I going to keep messing this up? Buy. Oh. How do I keep messing this up? Okay. Trade. Buy. Okay. So stop loss, we're going to throw that at the body of this candle. And for a 1R, we're going to throw TP right here. And boom, we hit TP there. So let me see. Maybe if you put it here, would you have still hit TP? Okay, you still would have hit 1R. You would have ticked it if you put it at that low. I prefer to put my TP all the way at the low, but with this one, it's just like there's no reason for us not to run this LRL here. We formed that OB. That OB should hold. And price just looks so perfect here. And honestly, I didn't put break even there because I knew this was going to hit because I took this trade. But in live time, the way I would have done my break even, I'll go ahead and go to a lower time frame here so I can kind of show how I would have managed it. Because TP is here at 1R. Why did it do that? Kind of show how I would have managed it here. 1R right here. Honestly, I probably would have put stop loss at like the wick here. I really don't like putting my stop loss, and I'm trying to be honest with you guys so I can teach you guys how I trade. I don't like putting my stop loss at the body, dude. I just don't. I've seen it stop me out early before, and I just don't like doing it. And I know some people do it, gives them better risk to reward. but I just don't like putting my stop loss at the body. So we'll throw this here, 1R. And my break even for this trade is specifically, I'll go in a lower time frame to show how I do it. But the way I would have done it here is, so this is the very first high of the OB here, right? Or the very first high of the LRL, sorry. This is the first high of the LRL here. We actually added to the LRL with this high too. And I'm probably going to do, so this is technically the first high of the LRL here that we already took. But I'm going to do break even. The way I did break even when taking this was right here at the second high of the LRL. So boom, right here, my stop loss was break even. Like I said, a little bit above for fees. And then that would have been TP right there. Again, like I said, I did take this in live time. I don't remember how I put my stop loss, but I did take this. And it was a really good trade. Had that LRL, like I said, lower time frame. We waited for our lower time frame to align with it when we got this inverse, delivering off of higher time frame sweep as well. The setup, let's see, the range we're in right now is in discount, right? And just very, very simple. Looking for this LRL here. And I'm not sure if we had SMT. I don't think we did with this one. And not 10 a.m., so not looking for an open low high close or open high low close. And very clean there. We had to draw on liquidity, that LRL. Everything was perfect. All right, now with this example, we are at all-time highs. This was actually from this week. We are at all-time highs here. That's the whole 4 hour, but we were at all-time highs right here. All right, you can see we're at all-time highs. And let's go ahead and go towards market open. Market open just dumps us down. Right now, for me, I'm like, okay, this is amazing. We have a pullback. We're going to get a setup here. Right. So we get a pullback and then boom, we sweep London lows. Now, so we swept this low. I was kind of looking for this Asia low. Asia low, if you don't know, is also another good liquidity pool. I was kind of looking for this Asia low here. Right. If we tap into this Asia low, we could also possibly be delivering off this 4 hour if we go low enough, right? So I'm kind of just looking out for these types of things. And let me go ahead and, oh wait, there we go. 4 hour, we have a 15-minute kind of in there. Just kind of looking for something here, right? And I didn't, okay, so here, if we had formed anything here, I don't like this. Why not? Because my lower time frame is not aligned yet. My lower time frame, we're not delivering either, right? My lower time frame is not aligned yet. Obviously, this is bearish. We're waiting for price to now maybe we get a high put in here. We sweep the low, get delivery and the sweep, and then we get an iFVG here. Now, also on top of that, you can see we have just all these, we're just dumping so much. We have all these gaps here, nothing really to look for. So I'm going to want to wait here and see what we get. So you can see here, boom, we swept our Asia low. We don't have delivery yet. We did not have delivery. We have an unfilled 5-minute here that we could target. And then that was also an unfilled 15-minute. Okay. We have an unfilled 5-minute here. I don't know if, I don't think the 15-minute was formed yet. No, it was not. This was still a 5-minute. So we have this unfilled 5-minute. We do not have delivery on this one. I mean, I think we do off a 15-minute. Yeah. So we were delivering off of this hourly here. We did not tap into that 4 hour below, but we did sweep that low. We, as you can see, are delivering off of this hourly. You can see that wick there. And let's see for the highest time frame gap. We have a 2-minute, no 3-minute, no 4-minute, and then we're targeting a 5-minute. So you can see this 2-minute gap is the highest time frame. All right, let's go ahead and put boom. Now this kind of sucks. Stop loss is gonna have to be pretty dang far. And you're going to have to look for something up here like a 1R, right? Maybe you look for this gap, this 5-minute gap. Is this a 5-minute? No, 5-minute was this other 5 minutes right here. That's still a negative R. So honestly, I would just look for like a 1R break even at that 5-minute. right? So boom, we go forward, don't inverse there. Now boom, we get the inverse here. My new stop loss is actually going to be here because again, this is the OB. This is kind of cooked, right? Pretty much going to be a break even unless we just get insane momentum and just pop up here, which I highly doubt. We just formed this 15-minute. This is now just straight up longing into a 15-minute gap. So we're going to have to go break even here. Now, what is it? What is it? How did I take this? I think, did I limit order? No, I didn't limit order. Either way, it's you'll see. Um, in live time, like I don't know if I would want to limit order this. Like limit order honestly would be the best move here. I just don't know if we're gonna get it. My entry was like really weird. It was like in the middle here, so it wasn't exactly limit ordered, but it wasn't like market all the way up here. Um, but honestly, the way I would do this would honestly be like this, because if you're entering all the way up here and price touches this 15-minute, chops for a second, comes to here, and then continues up, you're cooked. You're break even. So the chances of you being break even like that are really high. So if we were to pull back, you want to get in on that limit. And it's really discretionary when you use limits because you just have to decide whether you want to enter limit or not. So we'll go like this to enter limit. You can see, boom, you get tagged in there. Stop loss at the OB. TP just at a 1R. Now, like I said, I don't normally like just targeting a 1R, but in this, I'm looking for this 15-minute. So you can see there, no break even yet. We created equal highs at the 15-minute, but it didn't it didn't tap into it yet. Now, boom, stop loss was break even here. And you can see stopped at break even, right? Now, did this save us from break even? Not really. But price was chopping this day and you would have been in this trade forever. But there's rules for this break even. Like you don't want to just long into a 15-minute. And like I said, guys, the reason I'm showing, actually I didn't say this yet. The reason I'm showing this is because I want you guys to see there's going to be wins. There's going to be a lot of wins. There's going to be some break evens. You know what I mean? Not every trade is going to be a win. All right. Now with this final example, you can see we are here on market open again, right? Here on market open, you can see we dumped down. Let's go ahead and check our bias real quick. We inversed this 4-hour, kind of bearish here. So I'm looking for this sell side. What is this? Is this previous day low? No, definitely not. But this is a big sell side. I'm looking for higher time frame draw. So I want to look for shorts here. You can see we are dumping down now. I am still bearish here. Obviously, price dumping down. What I want is a pullback because remember, I prefer this. I'm not going to show a continuation setup here, but for continuations, you always want to look for like delivery. We got to get a pullback. Like it's just, you got to get a pullback, right? You don't want to short all the way at the lows here. That's way too far in discount. Now here, get a nice fat little pullback. What do we tap into here? We tap into an hourly for value gap. Are we in it yet? No, not really. Are we inside of a 15-minute? Yeah, we're inside of this 15-minute. We have this 15-minute above as well, right? And we have this 15-minute that we're in as well. So let's go ahead and see if we get a setup here. We tap into the hourly. We don't need this 15-minute anymore. Don't need this marked out. We just know that we're bearish. If we close below that 4-hour, price is obviously bearish. Now I'm looking for a short setup here. We have an unfilled 5-minute that we could use for a target here. Do we have an unfilled 15-minute? We do have an unfilled 15-minute all the way down here. I know it's not formed yet, but it'll form soon, right? So I'm looking for highest time frame setup here for shorts. We have a 3-minute. We have a 4-minute. Now this 4-minute is just kind of bad risk to reward. You can see this one didn't close below. This one closed actually on it. And what you need for your entry is a close below. You can see that did not close below. No matter how far I zoom in, you can see it closed on it right there, right? So no entry there, didn't close below. Now you can see price comes back up, price is chopping here. Let me go to the 1 minute. Now let me go ahead and point out this setup. This setup, boom, highest time frame in the leg. We swept these equal highs here, looking things. Right, we're delivering out of an hourly. Let me go ahead and mark this. I forgot this is the hourly, and this is the 15-minute. Right, so I took this, right, stop loss at the swing high like always, and my full TP was at this 15-minute. We get ourselves a 1.7R there. I don't even know if I was taking partials at this 5-minute, but you could take partials at this 5-minute for about a 1R, a little bit less, but I'm pretty sure I was just looking for this 15-minute break even at this 5-minute. That's what I was looking for. You see, boom, cooked. All right. Now, let me explain this. We have delivery off the higher time frame. We have a sweep. The sweep is not the highest time. It's not a high time frame sweep, right? It's just a lower time frame sweep. But we're delivering out of a higher time frame gap, kind of like a manipulation leg here. This setup was really good. We have targets. Let me go ahead and put this on here. We have our liquidity sweep, just not higher time frame. Deliveries off of higher time frame. Higher time frame iFVG. Highest time frame, right? There's a 1 minute that we enter on. No 2 minutes. No 3 minutes. No 4 minutes. No 5 minutes. And mind you, they have to be in the same leg. So this 4 minute all the way down here is not what we're entering on. We're entering on a completely separate leg up here. So that's why I liked this. And we're kind of forming some LRL here. I liked this LRL. I was going to go break even at the bottom of the LRL anyways. So I entered here. Right. Stop loss at the swing high. TP at the 15. Cooked. All right. Now with the second one, I was like, all right, whatever. Go ahead and look for this. Now with this one, I didn't have to target the 15-minute. This one I could just target this 5-minute for 1R. And I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we formed a new 15-minute as well. Yeah, so you can see this 15-minute all the way down here is not the current target now. This new 15-minute is formed. So we have this new 15-minute, but this new 15-minute is above the LRL here. So what I did is I did break even at this 15-minute, and I looked for like a 1R a little bit past the LRL here. And you could have looked for like this low if you wanted a little bit better of a RR, right? I know we had this 5-minute. Actually, I think I targeted this 5-minute because this 5 minutes right at 1R. I think I was just like, you know what, we have a 5-minute here. It's at exactly 1R. So same thing. So I entered here. Boom. I think I had a little bit of a better fill, so it was like 1.2R for me. Stop loss was there. I don't remember. I had a better R than this. Let me see. What did I enter on? Oh, I had a good fill. You see here, we had a pullback right here. Oh, the entry was on the 2-minute. Yeah, sorry. Entry was okay. Yeah, let me redo this. Let me kind of explain it a little bit better. So you can see here. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to the wrong time frame. 1 minute here, we have two 1-minute gaps, right? You see we have these two 1-minute gaps. This is the iFVG. And you can see we have a 2-minute. Now this was our 2-minute. And you see we closed very, 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 very far, right? Targeting this LRL. What I did was I was like, all right, I'm going to limit order. Boom. I'm going to limit order this. And I was like, throw that limit order there. And then boom, I got tagged in. Stop loss at the high. TP at the LRL. Boom. Easy. Now I did, if it'll show, no, I have to re-put the trade in. If I go, let me put this back in real quick. I'll show you the risk management. Nope. Okay. I put in the wrong order. Sell limit right here at the gap. You can see I get tagged in, stop loss here, TP here. Now you see when I go here, let me go forward. Right here, we tap into this 15-minute. Now I move stop to break even. You can even TP at this 15-minute if you want, but I liked the idea of this LRL right here. LRL looked clean, and boom. Now, something I want to point out is I showed that losing trade before, right? I showed this losing trade before. Price was choppy here. You could have avoided it with the chop, or you could have been like, another reason why I pointed this out is you can see the losing trade did not tap into this 15-minute yet, right? This losing trade here did not tap into the 15-minute. You want delivery off of, like, when you're looking at a higher time frame inside this hourly, you can look on the lower time frames. This is something I teach. You can look on the lower time frames to look for delivery of these gaps. You can see we tapped into that 15-minute as well, and then that's the one that ended up delivering lower, right? So things you can like also think about it, or I'm sorry. The reason why I showed the loss was because I want you to see that there are losses. It's not going to be a 100% win rate. All right. Not every trade is going to win, but you can see when you follow these setup criteria, and I actually have a full trading plan in my free Discord if you guys want to go check it out. There will be losses, but in the long term, if you follow these criteria, and I have a more in detail, the trading plan in my Discord is more detailed than this. But this is just like a generic set of criteria that I'm trying to teach in this video. And there's going to be losses, but overall you will win more than you lose, and you can become profitable using this setup. So if this video did help you and you learned from this video and you guys want to learn more from me, you guys can go ahead and check out my Discord, and there's the free Discord and then also the VIP. But if you guys want to learn any more, there's a lot more videos on my YouTube for free. There's so much that I teach for free on here. And if you guys have any questions, you can join the free Discord, ask me some questions in there. And of course, if you want to trade live with me, there's obviously the VIP. And just thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment if you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.